Heyo, I'm making this to just show you real quick how to use MetaChart to make a chart for your analysis of student learning project and also for our practice assignment that we're doing for the ASL. So thing number one, you want to go to metachart.com. There's other graphing software or websites that you can use. That's fine. I'm just going to show you this one. You do not need to log in. I'm not logged in, but if you like the idea of making a login, go for it. So for our practice assignment, you probably just need a regular bar chart. But for your ASL, you may find that you need a multiple bar chart if you have multiple learning targets. So I'll show you this one. Once you click on the type of chart that you're going to make, then we're going to be entering your data, labeling the chart, and then it creates it and you can download it. So you can pick out what you want your chart to look like. So I'm just doing this basic one here. And then I'm going to go to my labels. Okay, so this is where you're going to put your title for your graph. So in this case, we're doing the gumball problem. And the y-axis for this one is going to be, so for the gumball problem, we just had a very simple, I don't want to even call it a rubric, a very simple scoring guide that was rating students from incorrect to satisfactory. So there's 4 levels. So anyway, those are going to be my different groups, and then the y-axis is going to show how many kids are in each group. So this one will be number of students. Y-axis units, I'm not worried about that because, that would be like if you're, measuring something. We're just counting. Okay, I think that's all we need here. And then here we're going to enter our data in the data area. So number of groups, that means like how many different, probably for us, like how many different proficiency levels that we have. So in this case, we have 4 proficiency levels for the gumball problem. And number of items, oh, excuse me, I've got this mixed up. Number of groups would be how many learning targets you have. So for this particular gumball problem, I did come up with a couple of different learning targets, but the way that the scoring guide is, it's not really related to those learning targets. So since the scoring guide is so simple, I'm just keeping it as one group. Now, if your ASL has distinct learning targets, like let's say the students are getting some points for content of whatever they did and then other points for grammar or something like that, then you'd want to separate that out so you could see how many kids did well on the grammar and how many kids did well on the content. And that's where you want to choose more than one group, so that you can split that out. In this case, with the gumball problem being pretty simple in terms of the way it was scored, again, I'm going to keep that to one group. So my group name is proficiency level. If you had more than one group, you would label those different, like I was saying, like knows difference between rocks and minerals, knows how rocks are formed, whatever the learning targets are for the assessment. So the items is the proficiency levels. So down here is where I'm going to put my proficiency levels from the scoring guide that we have. And then partial, oops, sorry about my loud typing. and satisfactory. Okay, and then you're going to want to put how many people were in that group. So I'm just going to make up some numbers because y'all going to be doing this yourself, and I don't want to tell you how to score the students. So I'll just make up some numbers here. I think I'm doing this right. Okay, sorry, let's see here. How many? There were 12 students, so 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's say there were 4 here. Okay, let's see how this turns out. So I did my labels already, so let's see what my chart looks like. Yeah, so that looks good. So these were my different group names, and these are how many students I have in each group. And then you just want to, I would say, well, PNG is fine. You can export it as a JPEG or a PDF. You want to download that. Since I don't have a account, I'm not really sure what happens when I push save there. Probably ask me to make an account. So, and I can also share like that too. And then I can, now I have my chart here, and I can just pop it right into my Google document. So ta-da! If you have any questions or problems, let me know, and I hope that helped.